Okay, I was sent this by HYDRA Knives. This is called the Buzzard. Let me talk about this. This is a prototype knife. It looks a bit like, it's designed to be a neck knife, but it came also with a type of Kydex quick release on here. You know, so you can put that on a tactical belt. It's quite nice. This is made in Spain, by the way. Everything is made in Spain. And this is a bit of a funky type tech-locky thing. And you can easily remove it. It also came with this Phillips head, I have to say here, and that fits directly. You see these Phillips head screws? You can take that out with that. It's not meant for that. That's just one of the tools that fits into here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so this is a prototype. Let's have a look at that. It's, by the way, it's held nice and securely in there. There's no way that is going to come out. That can't come out. That's really strong. Did you see that? Right. Okay, so let's have a look at the knife itself. First glances, it looks a bit like some kind of a karambit with this on here like that, but it's not. It's not comfortable to use as a karambit. You break your finger off. I've got, you know, 8.5 size 9 hands, and that doesn't fit in there like that, and twist it like that, you know, you lose your finger. So it's not a karambit, but it is looked upon as a neck knife, a bit of a multi-tool neck knife. Now, first of all, the steel is German 1.4116. It's been cryogenically tempered. It's got a hollow ground blade on here with clearly a kind of a tanto-ish or reverse tanto sheep's head, if you like. It's not really a sheep's head, it's downward sloping blade. And I've already opened some, cut into some coconuts with it. Alright, this is the HYDRA. And it's a pretty tough little knife. These are the eyes of the coconut. You can see the coconut juice in there. Alright, let's do this other one. It's a good tip strength test. And twisted this thing. It's very, very strong, and it's really held an edge, I have to say. If it's correctly tempered, 1.4116 is a good steel, that's for sure. Right, okay, so one of the things I like about it, actually, in this form of neck knives, first of all, you see there's no handle, it's just bare steel. And a lot of neck knives are either miniature versions, just miniature versions of their big brother or big sister. Well, this isn't. And the fact that it's a rounded end on there, you can put a lot of pressure. You see this here into the palm of your hand, and you're not going to damage your hand. Whereas ones that just end in a, you know, not a sharp, but a more acute ending with a less of a radius, that's no good really. You can't put pressure on the things. This you can put pressure. So I do like that, and the grip is fine. You see this here. The grip is fine. There's some jimping here. They've even got a thing, they say, on here where you can strike a fire steel up here like that on the edge if that was the steel to, you know, like that with the fire steel. And I think that would be fine. I mean, of course, you could strike the steel here. It doesn't really matter. I'm not sure that that's necessary. Right, okay, so it came with this extra bit in here. I'm going to pull that out. Now, the problem is with this, how it's come, is it's hard to get out of this bit of Kydex. And that's the problem for a start. Let me see if I can remove it with this thing on here. Probably not. Yeah, okay. So what this is for is when the knife is in the scabbard, can't do it else. I'll just see this hole here. When the knife's in the scabbard, you've got this hole, and you can put this in. Only will go in one side actually into this. So let's see, I don't think it's this side, it's the other side. It won't fit. So you can't use this thing when this tech lock thing's on there. So you see that goes in there like that. Can you see that? So this has to be removed, and when that's removed, you can hang onto the knife or the scabbard and use that as a Phillips head if you had to, and you could use other bits that fit in there. It can't push through because obviously they've got a beveled surface in there, so it can't go all the way through. It can only go from one side, but you can't use it with this on, so that's a disadvantage if you've got the tech lock thing on there. Okay, let's put this back. They send this as a bit of a keeper, but I think that's you know, not, you know, this is too loose. You lose the thing out of there, or it's either too loose or too tight. I'd jammed it in there before, and that would come out in there. You know, this is just going to pop out. This is no good. You see, it won't retain that in there whatsoever. Even like this, you might get it to retain in there like that. Okay, this is a little bit gimmicky, that there. But the actual build quality itself of this scabbard is very good. So I find it's very safe. You've also got M6, M5, and M3 standard nut head there, so you can use this as a wrench on there if you had to. They do state you could use this as a bottle opener. I don't believe so. I've not been able to open any bottles with this end on here. I just think this is a comfortable end on the handle. I'm going to use this little knife here. It's very sharp. Okay, there's the Kydex quick release on the belt, and it's a secure scabbard. Right, what I want to talk about is the ergonomics of these neck knives. And many neck knives, as I said earlier on, they end quite abruptly at the handle, and the good thing about this, it doesn't. And so, because there's no handle as such on it, you can put a lot of pressure. You see this here, just take this here, you can put a lot of pressure on this part of your hand, you see that? And you're not going to injure your hand with this, which is really good. The other thing too is when it's in this position like this, if you are pushing into something like that, this is not going to dig into your hand, and that's a great idea. Let's get a piece of wood here and see if we can see this. Can you see this here like this? You see that? You see how that's not going to dig into my hand like that, and that's certainly what you want on a small knife. A handle needs to be big enough to hang on to, you see there, and it is with that. But if it's going to be all metal, it must be comfortable, and this cannot stab you in the hand, because it doesn't kind of end in sort of not obtuse angles, but like 90-degree or tight radiuses. This is a big radius, so this is hardwood, and I can carve that, you see that there, like that, and really, you know, for a small knife, look at that. That's pretty good. The ergonomics, I think, you can't expect super things in ergonomics from neck knives because they're just very small, but they do have to take ergonomics into account if you want something that's practical and can be useful. And I think this HYDRA Buzzard, the design of it does satisfy that. Look at that. I mean, that's pretty serious for a little neck knife, that. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. And it's a cool little handy knife. So what can I say? It stays sharp, it's strong, and it stays sharp, and it's comfortable to use. That's that's about it really. So that's the Buzzard from HYDRA Knives. Okay, thanks very much. Bush camping.